You ever play through a game and you're basically just on autopilot, then all of a sudden the credits roll, and you're just sitting there like, what the fuck? There are a lot of games like that have very complicated stories and secrets and such, but Outlast 2 doesn't really tell you shit. Unless you read all these notes. Reading? Fuck that, I'm here to have fun. What the hell is this shit? What am I in grade 10 English class again, reading fucking Taming of the Shrew or some shit? Outlast 2, the preceding game to Outlast 1. Remember how fun that was? Not gonna lie, when I finished the first game, I was just like, what the fuck, what? So, don't make me read in games, basically, is what I'm saying, goddammit. Because I barely even skimmed that shit. But anyways, the developers took the confined world out of Mount Massive and created a more open world to explore and get brutally murdered in. And by more open, I mean outside. Still confined to a smallish area, but now it's outside. Like the courtyard bit in Outlast 1, but like all the time. The game takes place in a remote location in Arizona. Wikipedia says Supai? How do you pronounce that shit? Arizona. Accessible only by helicopter or foot or by mule. Well, that makes sense, I guess, because the main characters arrive via helicopter. You play as Blake Langerman, another cameraman. Starting to see a trend here. You're on a helicopter on your way to investigate the murder of a pregnant teenager, only known as Jane Doe. And this is your fine-ass wife, Lynn. She's a journalist as well, obviously. Right now she's giving you a bit of sass because you were saying another woman's name in your sleep. Well, actually, it's the name of our dead friend from school, so... yeah, check your attitude, bitch. In typical horror story fashion, the helicopter goes friggity-fucked and goes down. Was hit by a blast of white light or an EMP or some shit. You come to on the side of a cliff, right next to your undamaged glasses and your undamaged camera. You scale down the cliffside using your undamaged legs and undamaged eardrums, and my point is, how did anybody survive this?
Jesus.
Whatever, it's a game. Who cares?
No, there's no bodies.
You find the pilot's body and he's been gutted like a fish. I guess just to say there's going to be some nasty stuff in this video, otherwise my footage is just going to look like this. So, I'll try to keep it on the horror light side, because YouTube is a lightweight. Anyways, you enter this sketchy-ass village inhabited by these sketchy-ass people, and of course, horror ensues. The gist is you gotta find your wife, who might as well be Princess Peach, which would make Noth Bowser. Yeah, this type of guts. He believes Lynn is pregnant with an Antichrist, and is going to murder her dead.
Listen to me! Please, we crashed!
Hush, child. You've already revealed your tongue. It's for nothing but lies. God's truth is here now. Come directly.
This Noth guy is a cult leader, if you couldn't tell, and all these crazy motherfuckers are his followers. Basically, without spoiling too much of the plot, the villagers have lost their minds, similarly to what happened to the patients in Mount Massive. They have formed several groups of cults that believe Antichrist good or Antichrist bad. A lot of death, a lot of rituals, a lot of sacrifices, a lot of fucked up shit. I'll explain what happens in greater detail in another video, but for now, let's just leave it at that. You should at least play the game first. Maybe you should pick up a pair of Outlast underwear before you do. I'm just kidding. The GoFundMe didn't reach its goal, so that'll forever remain an internet meme. But funny how I mentioned that you should empty your bowels before playing Outlast 1? Rule number 1 to playing Outlast. Empty your bowels before you start playing. We've learned that one the hard way. See? I did say that. Anyways, the developers thought it would be funny to promote the game with its very own diaper. Outlast 2. So scary you will shit yourself. Outlast 2 plays pretty much the same as Outlast 1. Can't fight because your wrists are too weak. CIA's got you pushing too many pencils. You can hide in stuff, like barrels with holes in them and water troughs. Those are new. Plus the standard lockers and underbeds we've grown accustomed to. It's just as dark as Outlast 1. Literally can't see shit without your camera. And you can't see shit without your glasses. I honestly thought they were going to do more with it, but they didn't, unfortunately. I bet they had plans for it, though. I figured you would lose your glasses similar to the part in Outlast 1 where you lose your camera. You'd be crawling around on the floor like Velma trying to find them. My glasses! My glasses! Nope. Maybe they would have been damaged or cracked? Nope. I bet it was too frustrating during playtesting, so they scrapped it. Your vision does get blurred after going underwater, however, so there is that. Anyways, we've got some new gameplay mechanics to talk about. One being the health mechanic. In Outlast 1, we didn't really need to worry too much about healing. Just run and hide long enough and you'll be fine. In Outlast 2, however, when you take damage, you bleed. I mean, obviously, but you continue to bleed over time. Unless you use your bandages to patch yourself up. If not, your stamina slowly decreases and you eventually die from your injuries. That's a cool concept, actually. I like it. I also like how he only takes damage on his left forearm. On normal difficulty, I never actually ran out of bandages. There were times where they were available and I didn't need them. Except for one particular area where this dickhead with bow and arrows just... Fuck. This fucking guy puts Legolas to shame. His aim is so good and he redraws so quickly, it's complete bullshit. With all my Call of Duty experience in my back pocket, I was like, right, wait for the bastard to fire and move to cover.
Go, go, go!
There's also the sound device on your camera. In the first game, the camera is basically just used to see in the dark. But in this game, it's got an extra feature where you can listen for your enemies. Another very cool concept. I barely used it, though. I never really needed to rely on it that much, so, yeah. All you gotta do is outrun the dickweeds chasing you, and you'll be good. Outlast 2. The very first running simulator. That will also make you shit yourself. What really makes this game difficult is the environment. Some for good reasons and some for bad. What I mean sometimes is like, whoa, this place is a maze, I can't find my way through it. It's crazy. And other times it's like, what the fuck, there's hardly any time for me to find the right window to jump through, or hole to crawl through, or whatever, before these fucking shitheads catch me. Stab me in the face. Fucking bullshit. This wasn't just my experience either. I watched a lot of other YouTubers' reviews on Outlast 2, and they all mentioned this. Angry Joe was particularly pissed off about it.
Fucking clue where the fuck you're going, and you will die a lot, and then you'll get stuck on these random little rocks and tiny logs on the ground that have no business slowing you down completely.
He also goes on to say that this game isn't scary. I'm like, sitting over here like, bro, it's scary. I think the problem is when you die over and over for things that don't feel like your fault, you start to blame the game for it. But really what you need to do is learn how to read the game and understand what it wants from you. Here's a tip if you end up playing this game, which you should, in my opinion. Follow the lights. I know Schmeagol told you not to, but I'm telling you that's how the game is designed. The light leads you to safety, not to murder pools of dead dudes. I mean, sometimes there's pools of dead dudes, but that's just decoration. It's Outlast, people. There's dead bodies everywhere. There's also objects that you can interact with. These usually take the form of a trailer you can push, or a box bin thing. The fuck is this? Anyways, you can move these to wherever you need them, like jumping over a fence, or through a hole in the wall, or up a busted-ass ladder. This is meant to make the player feel tension. As if I didn't feel enough tension. There's a bunch of psychos everywhere. And Val, frickin' face licker. Ugh. Whatever these are. And Martha. Marta. Whatever. A giant murderous woman, fucking Brienne of Tarth on crack, is coming with a pickaxe. She'll chop your dick, so you better hurry the fuck up, my guy. You know something that was super annoying about Outlast 2? Barrels never work. I'm always spotted and pulled out. Probably because there's all these holes in them. Duh. Which makes sense, but why even give me the option? I'm not even kidding. I don't think they've ever been useful. One thing I did notice was the saving checkpoint situation. If Outlast 2 was a poker player, this would be its tell. Whenever you see this pop up, the game is saving, you know some shit is about to happen. Kinda ruins the scares from time to time. Same thing with these boxes I mentioned. Interacting with them usually triggers an event of some kind. I could stand here all day and Martha, or whatever the fuck her name is, isn't gonna show up until I move it. The controls can fuck you up when you're trying to crawl through holes. In fact, the first time I died was because I got stuck in a fence hole, and then chopped in the dick. Also, running into what appears to be a dead end and not knowing where the game wants you to go, yeah, that gets really annoying pretty quick. But other than that, it's pretty sweet. One thing I can't stop thinking about is the fact that this game was made in, like, an office setting. Just picture it for a moment. Yeah, Jeff, did you finish modeling the bucket of piss and shit in the surrogate mother victim room? And Craig, how is that satanic orgy coming along? Have you completed the animations for all those positions? And you'll be starting the torture scene next week, right? And what about the birth scene? Yeah. Outlast 2. You deliver a baby. It's Surgeon Simulator now! I'm just saying, there's a lot of fucked up shit in this game. And it's pretty freaking scary. In my opinion, the scariest place in this game is the school. There is some backstory I should mention. Remember when Blake was asleep at the beginning, talking about
Jessica?
Yeah, she was murdered by her music teacher, Father Loudermilch. Turns out, as you play the game, you'll learn that he was doing naughty things to her. What? A Catholic priest that touches children inappropriately? That never happens in real life. Anyways, yeah. He haunts Blake in his dreams and he's like, it's just fucking scary. That's not even the same guy. What is that? What the fuck? So there's my verbal diarrhea of Outlast 2. And here's some actual diarrhea in Outlast 2. Ugh, that doesn't look healthy. You should probably get some paint chips to figure out what shade of brown that is to tell the nurse. Yeah, it was mostly chocolate swirl with a touch of dark truffle. Outlast 2. The very first running simulator that has you deliver a baby and that's so scary you'll shit chocolate swirl into your custom diaper. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Definitely check this game out, and when you do and you're totally confused, read the comic books on the Red Barrel's website. Please. All your answers are in there. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more morbid content. Peace out!